Okay, you're on.
Good evening, everybody. I'm just a common man, and I stay in KaggadasaPura. Uh, uh, I'm always stuck in this traffic junction at KaggadasaPura, wherein this railway junction crossing is notoriously problematic. The reason being, most railway crossings are two-way straight crossings. However, however, KaggadasaPura is a four-way curved crossing. So we need to understand here the problem. The main problem here is in a two-way road. Let's say if the road is straight, a vehicle can pass at 40 kilometers per hour. However, on a curve, the same vehicle would only pass at around 20 to 15 kilometers per hour. And when the gate is closed, the gate remains closed only for 4 minutes. So I'm making an effort to ensure that the train timings are displayed, which will ensure that localites who are who commute through this junction every day, when they go to office or when they return home, they will have an idea when the train arrives. So if they calculate those 4 minutes, they will be able to avoid those 4 minutes and ensure that they leave home 5 minutes early and skip the junction. Let's say, for instance, if 100 people are leaving in this location, they're going to office at 7 a.m. If those 100 people get to know that the train arrives at this junction at 7 a.m. and the gates are closed at 6:58 a.m., they can probably cross the junction before 6:55 a.m. Out of those 100 people, around 60 people would be able to cross this junction. Those remaining 40 people will be stuck at the traffic. So only those people will be stuck at the traffic. Now, even if those 40 people, when the gates are open, if they start following simple traffic rules to start off with, not the entire Bangalore, at least at their area, KaggadasaPura junction, if they follow simple traffic rules, we will be able to ensure that all the vehicles pass through this junction, which is notoriously problematic, in very less time. It may not happen within a few days or within a month, or maybe in due course of month, probably in 3 months. If we install a speedo cam at this junction, let's say for instance within 1 minute, if there are 100 vehicles crossing this junction, tomorrow after following traffic rules and when people get to know what are the train timings, if in the same 1 minute, if there are 130 vehicles traveling, so which in turn means that those 30 vehicles are crossing the same junction within a minute, in turn which means that the traffic has eventually reduced. Let's say for instance today, if we start educating the students who are there in the same local area, who pass through this junction every day, probably after 5 years, when each of that student when he joins college, or let's say when he graduates, when they own a bike or when they start buying a car, they will be in a better position to follow traffic rules. So when we start educating those kids right now, when they buy the vehicles, they will ensure that they follow traffic rules. In turn, such a menace in the traffic can be curbed. To start off with, what you can do, follow such simple, I don't mean to say that the nation can grow by leaps and bounds in a day or two. However, collective efforts from each one of us, we are all responsible citizens of India. If each one of us follow simple traffic rules, to start off with KaggadasaPura, the localites who are present here, if they ensure that they make sure that they follow traffic rules at this junction, probably rather than 100 people getting stuck at this junction, there could be around 60 to 40 people. And if those people again make sure that they follow lane discipline and follow traffic rules, I think we will be able to bring about a difference maybe in 3 months or 6 months. Another main reason why this junction is notoriously problematic is because most railway crossings are straightway, two-level crossing. Straight, the roads are straight, the crossing up the railway line and the roads are perpendicular to each other, which in turn means that the vehicles can crisscross in two-way direction at a good speed of, let's say, 30 kilometers per hour. However, this is a four-way curved crossing. When a vehicle travels at 40 km per hour in a straight road, the same vehicle can only travel at 10 to 15 km per hour on a curved crossing, which in turn means that too many people are trying to crisscross at the same time, which is in turn reducing the efficiency of the system as a whole. Now, I would not say I have 20 crores or 30 crores to build a flyover. However, I do have some simple and radical solutions. I'm sure each one of you will be able to come up with a few more. If we all start implementing these radical solutions at this junction, we will be able to ensure that in, let's say, a month or in 3 months from now, the traffic here can be reduced. One way how to predict the results is if we request the government to install a speedo cam. A speedo cam will let us know that within a minute if there are 100 vehicles traveling, the same minute after 3 months if there are 150 vehicles traveling, I'm sure there is an improvement at this junction. The average speed at which the vehicles are crossing at this junction has indeed improved. In turn, the vehicles, there's less traffic here. You don't have to waste time in the traffic. You can plan yourself. You can make sure that you reach your office on time. Students can ensure that they reach home on time rather than getting stuck in traffic. People, let's say for instance, many people who are stuck in traffic, they make sure they take that time to make a call, a phone call. Rather than that, if they can prevent that 15 minutes getting stuck in the traffic, they can easily go home, sit at home, relax, watch news, sip a cup of tea, and ensure that they make that call. Which in turn means that this traffic problem is creating a menace for everyone. I think individually each one of us are contributing for this traffic. So let's make that collective effort to ensure that our area as a whole is a better place to live in. In turn, our country will be a better place to live in, our city will be a better place to live in, a state. Each one of us can contribute in our own ways to nation building. Today, our nation is growing at 7.5% GDP. Tomorrow, if we make these collective efforts, each one of us, 125 crore people in our nation, each one of us, we will be educated people, will be able to contribute 0.0000001%. That means 1 crore of 1%. If we all collectively put those efforts, probably tomorrow our country will start going at 7.56 GDP. In, let's say, 1 year or 2 years of time, each one of us have ambitions. We want to buy a bike, we want to buy a car. I'm sure there's nothing wrong in it. Yeah, we all want to grow. However, small, simple efforts by just simply following basic traffic rules, we will be able to contribute in a big way to our nation. I think the rest is all probably let's collectively work towards our nation's growth, and I just want to say that I am a common man. You too are a common man. You have the power to bring about the change. Let's work for our nation together. Thank you so much.